Today, we're going to be talking about the metal musician that literally did the impossible. Starting as crabcore, scenecore, kid, breakdown master, into years later transitioning into literally the king of hog cranking, countrycore, memes, and I don't even know what else. America at this point. To even now touring with Sleep Token as the only opening act, the biggest modern metal band, I'd say, in the scene, technically. Now I want to talk about how did a musician go from that to that and make millions of metalheads love country music, country core. What the is that? Now, I'm not going to give you guys like the big Wikipedia FAQ on this. I mean, it's pretty easy to search it up yourself, but if you don't know who Johnny is, Johnny Frank was one of the vocalists in Attack Attack, and if you don't know who Attack Attack is, they are basically the core legends, the origin of what is known as crabcore. Rise core legacy band, which came out with their debut Someday Came Suddenly, and it debuted already in like Billboard 200s, and it was just honestly a huge game changer in terms of just sound and vision for metal and this new subsection of metalcore known as crabcore that changed everything for the better and worse, made metalcore kind of more lighthearted and fun and electronic based and memey, and also just all the other stuff that came with it, which we wish didn't. But if I were to tell you that this guy is the same guy as this guy, you that freeze frame is great. You probably wouldn't have believed me. But like a lot of the original Risecore bands that came to huge popularities, touring around the world and making a huge name for themselves, selling tons of copies of their albums and just kind of changing the identity of the whole scene at that moment. A lot of them didn't last very long. Attack Attack also kind of came to an end a few years later. They're back now as something else. But Johnny left Attack Attack pretty early on, just after the debut, because of various reasons. I actually had Johnny on my show and he kind of explained that the band just got too big too fast. It was kind of hard to keep up with, and the band just wasn't ready for that amount of attention. And then from there, Johnny kind of went on to do his own thing. Like, he was already just like known in the scene as nice guy, awesome, fun, just like happy to be there, talented musician guy. But he would do various different things, mainly produce for bands as well as just engineer to kind of keep things going.
It took me a really long time to develop my ear to learn all that stuff. So I really feel like for Bilmuri to happen, it was necessary for me to sit in my mom's basement for 9 years and record metalcore every single day.
Yeah.
All day long. Like,
is that all you would have to do? Like, just metalcore? Oh, damn.
Yeah. Like, it would just be like, and it was like 2012, so every band sounded like Memphis Mayfire. So just like a year of bands going, you know, like, and I'm like, dude, I'm getting paid to make music, so I'm chilling.
Until eventually he started his project, which is a solo project known as Bilmuri. Now, OG Bilmuri sounds very different to the countrycore madness that he's doing currently, but it was the start of something magical that even at that time, talking with Johnny, he wasn't even sure what was going to go on with it. He just liked writing music. Now, Bilmuri from there went on to release various albums until eventually started releasing albums where I guess he lost his space bar when typing out the song names. And since starting his kind of more memeier phase, I don't know, around 2019, 2020 area of Bilmuri, he definitely started to have more fun when it came to the identity and the brand of the band. Even just the artwork just looks absolutely hilarious, until especially he released a legendary album, Eggy Pocket. And this was definitely more on like the pop post-hardcore, more similar to bands like, I don't know, like Issues, I guess. It also had a bit of that country, western, hell yeah, brother vibe starting to sneak in, especially through the artwork, through the branding. And again, I'm skipping a lot of little details here, which had probably a decent impact and a big impact on how Bilmuri became who he is today, and even contribute to the success. But more so the big hits, such as the next one being a Goblin Hours, being a thing that I remember seeping very much into the metal scene because it had cool features. I'm pretty sure Will Ramos was on one of the tracks, and like these videos too were wild, much more animated, super high budget. and something that was like, whoa, this is an interesting blend. It seemed like it was full-on genre fusion, which again had a bit of that country vibe, but it wasn't full-fledged until we reached modern day with the new album, American Motorsports. Now, at this point, the Bilmuri lore is already solidified. There's so many terms and terminology that if you heard it for the first time, you just ask, what the does that mean? Such as cranking my hog, forgetting to wipe your ass. America, which is not a new terminology, it has to do with America. Johnny starts to always mow his lawn. I even had to ask Johnny on the podcast about it, and he gave me a great description that left me more confused after.
There is no formula, dude. It's just a feeling that you get when you say some shit like that, and you're like, God dang, brother. You know, like when you say some American shit.
Right.
Like, welcome to God's country. You know, that's some Bilmuri vibes.
That's
like,
some Bilmuri vibes.
You know, like, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it, but you know it when you see it.
Even if you go to the comments in the most recent music videos, unless you've been there probably for the last 3 years, you are a little confused and won't understand what half of the things mean, but you'll still want to comment and be a part of it because it's all just laced in this fun, high energy spirit that's also just based on the foundation of really, really good music. Because Johnny in himself is such a good songwriter and good producer that especially over all the years honing his craft and then tending to add a bit more of a meme element, and then with this last big opus here trying to go more of the country route with videos that are beyond hilariously low budget, where it's negative budget. I don't even know how to describe that in words. It's something that's so entertaining and funny to watch, even though the lyrics are actually like really up and depressing and kind of dark, but you still just want to smile and be along for the ride. And a lot of metalheads that again grew up either with Attack or just knew Johnny's name in the scene, and also the collaborations he's done with so many of these bands through Bilmuri, just had this instant just notion of like, ooh, like what's going on here? Like I want to figure this out, and we'll listen to a Bilmuri track here or there and be like, okay, like this is cool. It's definitely more pop, not really as heavy maybe, but also because Bilmuri has had tracks and blends of heavy music, heavy moments with breakdowns, again with features like Will Ramos on tracks and just hard hitting high energy riffs. It's something that a lot of metalheads were able to actually absorb, even though country, which some people might not really understand this because they think, oh, pop is the antithesis, the opposite, the everything, but I believe against metal, but it's not. It's country music by far. That is the polar opposite of metal. There's more pop infused in metal than I've ever seen before. But country, in terms of infusion with metal, is something that's still fairly new, and maybe few country artists are starting to do, like obviously Hardy being a big one, Mitchell Tenpenny, and then there's obviously bands in the metal scene that have a few countrycore tracks here and there. But Bilmuri basically came through and said, yo, I'm gonna be the king of hell yeah, brother, crank your hog countrycore, and mastered it with all the years of work and production skills and knowledge and songwriting skills to just release banger after banger after banger and package it in this perfectly funny way through the music videos that it makes people that listen to the heaviest of deathcore music even want to listen to new Bilmuri because they're just gonna smile and have fun. But it's this perfect genre fusion and bending that really has made it so it can be presented to anybody, not just metalheads, not just country fans, not just pop fans. Like everyone can enjoy this and also have fun doing it. Even if you go to see song stats, like it's kind of crazy seeing the evolution of Johnny and Bilmuri specifically. When it was 2023, when he started to release the roll-up for the new record, American Motorsports, where you start to see this line just go funny, where he even peaked at almost 1 million monthly listeners doing countrycore. And doing so well, he is the one that was chosen to get the slot for Sleep Token's arena selling tours, where he is the only opener. Can you imagine going to Sleep Token, going to watch Vessel do whatever and wanting to smell his mask, and then you hear the homie go, all right, boys, let's crank our motherfucking hog right here. Hell yeah, Ohio, get them lawnmowers vrooming up. You know, like that's so exciting. Being played in literally arenas. That's insane. And I wanted to really try to understand this more and more, being a person, of course, that wants to just keep up with the metal scene, what's going on, especially the modern metal scene, but also how someone is able to, through years of work, make it so metalheads can love the thing they hate the most, country. So I even asked Johnny to see if he could explain this to me so we could figure out how he was able to do this.
Let me think. I know I'm a metalhead. and I like high energy riffs, and I just tried to preserve the energy that you get at a metal show and in metal music, but have different toppings, you could say. So I wanted to preserve the energy of metal riffs, but have, like, you know, maybe the sprinkles of country stuff. I hope that helps, dude.
Well, there you have it from Johnny Man himself. Again, we had a podcast, which I think he went over a good amount of stuff and explained things quite well. But yeah, seeing an artist come from, you know, the core of the scene, doing crabcore, going all the way to going hell yeah, brother, on his lawnmower, and making millions of metalheads across the world love that type of music. Which, if you asked 2 years ago if a metalhead liked country, like, not going around, bro. It's something that's so magical, and it's the start to this whole new era, I think, of just genre fusion, and a lot of people being more open to just different genre-bended types of songs. And I think Bilmuri fits in perfectly with this whole new era of country core. And myself being a person that really is not into country at all, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. And again, got to give Johnny mad credit for really being, I think, the leader in this new subset of genre fusion of that capacity. Johnny did the impossible. He made metalheads like country music. Yeehaw, brother.